In fact, yesterday we started with this topic, standard costing, wherein I shared some PPTs with you. So today our target is to understand the meaning or importance of formula, which are mentioned in the standard costing. Why do you calculate this formula? Because unless and until you understand the purpose and meaning of formula, I think there is no meaning in calculating this formula. So as a management student, you should understand why do we calculate this? What is the reason behind this? And what message is being communicated through this formula to the other managers. And once we understand the meaning of formula, then maybe in the middle of today's session, we will have a numerical on calculation of material cost variances. Material cost variances. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
And as I mentioned yesterday, that we are at the end part of unit number 5. After completing this material cost, then if possible today, or maybe it may not be possible today, but tomorrow, then we will start with the last topic of this standard costing, that is labor cost variances. And then tomorrow we will end our portion of managerial accounting. And maybe if any 1 or 2 sessions required, maybe before examination, we can arrange such sessions. So by the time you will also prepare from the point of view examination, and with your preparation, whatever doubts and queries are there, these queries can be solved in coming sessions, in this upcoming session. Now, if you remember, yesterday I started with the concept of standard cost and standard costing. Let me revise once again. So please listen, everyone. We learned that standard costing, it is being defined as preparation and use of standard cost, their comparison with actual cost, and the measurement and analysis of variances to their causes and of incidences. So we compare standard cost with the actual cost. So there is a comparison between standard cost and actual cost, and whatever difference, it is known as variance. That difference is known as variance. So that difference might be favorable and or might be unfavorable or adverse. So that is known as standard costing. Now another word, that is standard cost. What does it mean? Standard cost, it is a predetermined cost which is calculated from the management standards of efficient operation and the relevant necessary expenditure. So standard cost, it is being predetermined from the management perspective. Again, management refers industry standard, and on the basis of industry standard, they define a particular standard for their own product, and accordingly it is being implemented. That is known as standard cost. So standard cost and standard costing. And if you remember, yesterday we have learned the advantages of standard costing also, wherein I mentioned that standard costing, which is known as a yardstick. I gave you the example of a ringmaster who plays his role in circus, and he holds a stick. He holds a stick just to give the direction to the animals or a person who is performing a particular activity to the audience. So that example I gave you. Similarly, this standard costing is also a yardstick. Then another advantage we have learned yesterday, that standard cost, it is the basis for price fixation, because this standard cost will help you in regarding fixation of price. What should be the price of your product? Because this is very sensitive issue. Whenever company offers quotation to their customers, parties, so that time the price should be competitive. If you are quoting a higher price, then there are chances you may lose your customer. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So that is why it is a very careful job while offering quotation to other party. So this standard cost will help you that what should be the price of your product, so that it will be competitive, and the third person will think about your product, and definitely he will turn in purchase of our product. Then another advantage we discussed yesterday, that is it offers delegation of authority. Now how it is? Standard costing system facilitates delegation of authority and fixation of responsibility for each individual and department. This also tones of the general organization of the concern. So in the nature of general organization as well as individual level or department level, it allows you to work in a free manner. That is delegation of authority. If you are working in a say purchase department, or if you are working in sales department, so in sales department, whatever activities are involved, like say organizing event or maybe sales promotion activities, so whatever cost the company has decided to spend on that particular events, so being a sales team member, you are free to work in that. So that is why delegation of authority. Then we also learned, though this standard costing has advantages, but every system also possesses some limitations. So similarly, standard costing also has some limitation. We can't say that it is 100% foolproof. So it has some limitation such as that it is not suitable for small concern. For big companies, big concerns, they can go for standard costing, but definitely small companies, because you have to hire people, and small companies may not able to offer salary or remuneration to the experts. So that is why this is one of the limitation. Another limitation which we learned yesterday, that is create a frustration in the minds of employees. I give you the example. Suppose yesterday, if you remember, I mentioned about Lijjat Papad. Now, Lijjat Papad, if they are providing 250 gram of raw material, and if they are expecting 35 pieces of papad from their laborers, so now suppose if they have changed from 35 to 40, now apart from their contribution, apart from seriousness of job, but it is not possible from labor side to give 40 pieces of from 250 gram. So what will happen here? The laborers may have frustration, because sincerely they are doing their job, but the unnecessary Lijjat Papad has given a higher amount of target, and it is not achievable. So if you are a very sincere person and a devoted person, so naturally you will be into the frustration, because you are not able to give 40 pieces of papad. So that way you need to understand, it may create sometime frustration in the minds of employee. When it creates frustration in the minds of employee, if your company giving unnecessarily higher and higher target, that in that case only, if your company is reasonable, then there is no question of creating frustration. Are you understanding my point, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this we discussed yesterday, advantages as well as a limitation. And after that, if you remember, in one of the slide, I mentioned some of the no, before that, I mentioned about the variances. Now, what is this variances? Variances, which is the difference between actual cost and standard cost, and it is the comparison. Now, if actual cost is less than the standard cost, please listen. If actual cost is less than standard cost, the variance is favorable, and vice versa. If actual cost is more than the standard cost, then it is unfavorable. It is an adverse variance. Okay. So what is favorable variance and what is unfavorable variance? Did you understand? To whom we should say favorable variance and to whom we should say unfavorable variance? Did you follow? Yes, please. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
समजलं का तुम्हाला? फेवरेबल व्हेरियन्स कोणाला म्हणायचं, अनफेवरेबल कोणाला म्हणायचं? Hello. Let me give. Yes.
Can you repeat once again?
Yeah, I will repeat once again. When actual cost, listen, when actual cost is less than the standard cost, then that variance is favorable variance. Vice versa, when actual cost is more than the standard cost, then the variance is unfavorable. Now, suppose, say on a particular weekend, if your parents have given you pocket money, now you are a grown-up child. Now, I don't think that you are expecting pocket money from your parents, but just for example purpose. Now, if your parents have given, say, 200 rupees to spend a particular Saturday, okay? So this is the standard amount which is given by a parent. But at the end of day, suppose you have spent 160 rupees out of 200 rupees and you are returning 40 rupees to your parents back. You are returning 40 rupees back. So in that case, parent will appreciate your spending or they will be upset with your spending. What do you say? What say? Yes.
Or maybe they will be happy because
They
you
will
have
be
paid
happy.
40 rupees.
Correct, because you are returning 40 rupees. So that variance, we can say it is a favorable variance because it is favorable to the parent. And since they are appreciating, you are that situation is also favorable for you. I'm just giving the example, dear. Vice versa, parents had given 200 rupees, but you have spent 350 rupees. And now you are asking another 150 rupees from parent. So in that case, what will be the reaction of your parent? What will be the reaction?
Not happy.
They will not. They will say, dear, try to manage within the given things. So, तो सुद्धा तुम्हाला कानमंत्र देतील ते. They will give you the trick or idea. Henceforth, please take care. Whatever amount is given to you, try to manage within that amount. So that is the general expectation from parent. So the same expectation from company also. Company is providing a particular cost. As a manager, you have to manage within that cost. If your actual cost is less, management will be favorable. Vice versa, as a manager, if you have spent higher amount, your management will be unhappy. So that is an unfavorable variance. Now followed, what is favorable variance and what is unfavorable variance?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, after understanding this variance, because we have to indicate in this formula. So please remember what is variance. Then we started, I showed one slide which containing formula. So let me explain the meaning of this formula, and after understanding and explanation of formula, Then we will turn to the numerical on material cost variances. Now, please listen everyone one by one. The first formula, that is material cost variances. Now, what is this material cost variances? It is the difference between standard material cost and actual material cost. It is the difference between standard material cost and actual material cost. So while calculating this in the this formula, what you have to do? You have to just pick up the total amount of material cost and actual material cost. Means total standard material cost and actual material cost, and get the difference. So that is your answer. Now, this material cost variances, it is further analyzed. Again, it is having another two formula. Yesterday I showed that slide to you. Again, tomorrow also I will show you. But right now, you just remember, try to understand the meaning of formula. Material cost variances, again analyze further. Number one, material price variances. Now, what is this material price variances? Material price variances, it is that portion which is due to the difference between standard price specified and actual price paid. I repeat, material price variances, it is the difference between standard material price and actual price paid. It is calculated as, now what is the formula for this? Actual quantity in bracket actual price minus standard price, bracket close. I repeat again, I will be showing this slide to you, but try to memorize this formula, because this entire topic based on formula. If you are good in memorizing formula, then it becomes easy for you to solve this numerical. Actual quantity in bracket actual price minus standard price. Now, why these variances causes? So that is the interesting part as a management student. So these causes may be because of change in price of material. Naturally, if there is a change in price of material, so naturally there will be a negative variance, means there is an unfavorable variance. Barabar hai na? All of a sudden, if prices of material increases, so in that situation, what will happen? Even variance will be unfavorable because of price of material. So as a manager, you should convey this message to your top management. Sir, this has happened because of change in price of material. And I don't think that your management will not agree with this point, because these things are not in our hand. All of a sudden, the prices of material gets increases. This happens in market or not? This happens or not? Raw material prices increases.
Yes, sir.
It happens. But as a manager, you should sensitize this point. That message I would like to convey to you. Another reason could be change in quantity of purchase or uneconomical size of purchase order. Sometimes purchase manager unnecessarily he purchase uneconomical size of raw material. What is uneconomical size? Suppose if your company has planned, say 2 tons of raw material, but purchase manager has purchased 4 tons of material, so it is almost double. So it is uneconomical size. Actually, he should have purchased 2 tons of material, but he has purchased 4 tons, so it is almost double. So that is known as uneconomical size. याच्याने काय होतं? The investment, a huge investment into the inventory. Third point could be unnecessary managers, they are rushing orders to meet shortage of supply. So there is a fear in the minds of managers that there could be a shortage of supply, and they purchase in a less favorable market. Another reason could be managers are not able to purchase during off-season prices, or managers are not good in negotiation, so they could not get cash or trade discount from the wholesale market. So that could be a reason. If managers are good in negotiation skill, so definitely they can get good amount of discount from the suppliers, and it is beneficial to the organization. So these are some reasons because of this material cost variances. Another formula, material usage variances. Now what is this? Material usage variances. It is that portion which is due to the difference between standard quantity specified and actually quantity used. I repeat, it is that portion which is due to the difference between standard quantity specified and actual quantity used. It is calculated as standard price in bracket actual quantity minus standard quantity. Actual quantity minus standard quantity. Now, why this difference happens? This is because of inefficient or careless use of material. Your employees are little bit careless while handling material. So this could be a reason. That is why usage has increased. Or another reason may be change in specification or design of product. So sometimes there is a change in specification or design of product. So yesterday I gave you the example of bread, and what was another example which I quoted yesterday? Do you remember? I gave you the example of bread, and what was another? Which example I quoted yesterday? Bread and
Sugar.
bread and papad, lijat papad. Is it? Now, if bread making company or papad making company, if they are change in specification, maybe in size of bread or size of thickness of papad, so that is known as the specification they have changed. So if there is a change in specification, so they need more material. So because of that also usage increases. बरोबर की नाही? तुम्ही जर का ब्रेडची साईज वाढवली किंवा पापडचा थिकनेस वाढवला तर मटेरियल जास्त लागेल का कमी लागेल? You need more material. So that could be a reason. तर हे तुम्हाला शोधता आला पाहिजे as a manager. Then another thing, inefficient or inadequate inspection of material. So these are some reasons because of this material usage variances happens. So this was about the meaning of different now here. Sir, can you give please your contact number? Yes, I am providing my contact number over here. So in case if any while studying, so please note my contact number. This is my contact number 9423003296. Note down this number. So have you understood the meaning of formula? Have you understood meaning of formula?
Yes, sir.
So shall I share with you the slide now? Quickly, we will have again a formula slide. Just now, yesterday also I explained. Recently, I explained. One more time, I will show you the slide, and then we will turn to the numerical on material cost. Okay. Sorry, this is not that slide. It was about the cash budget. Now this is our slide, standard costing. We have learned this limitation. Yes. Let me share you this particular slide, analysis of variances. So there are basically you will be asked calculate material cost variances or material usage variances. Under material cost variances, again you have to calculate these two sub variances, material price variances and material usage variances. Let me read out. AQ stand for actual quantity. Here I have used short form. AQ stand for actual quantity, in bracket actual price minus standard price, bracket close. That is material price variances. Material usage variances is calculated standard price in bracket actual quantity minus standard quantity. This is the formula for material usage variances. Material usage variances again having these two different formulas, material mix variances, which can be calculated as standard price in bracket actual mix minus standard mix, actual mix minus standard mix. AM stand for actual mix minus standard mix. Another material yield variances to be calculated as standard yield in bracket actual loss, AL stand for actual loss minus SL stand for standard loss. So note down this slide, or I will be sharing with Anand sir all these slides. Accordingly, Anand sir will upload on the website of our institute, and from there also you can study. Okay. May I go to the numerical area now? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Variances we have learned. It is the difference between standard cost and actual cost. That is termed as variance, and variance could be a favorable or unfavorable. That also we have learned. Now this is the numerical. Everyone, please have a look. This is our question part, and from this question we will start with the numerical. Solution. Calculate material cost variances. Under this material cost variances, it is expected that we should calculate different 4 variances, and different 4 are these are the 4: material price, material usage, material mix, and material yield. Okay. Now here we have given this table which indicates material. There are 3 types of material: A, B, and C. These are the name of material: A, B, and C. Then standard quantity, standard price, and total. So this first 4 column which indicates standard, and last 3 columns which indicates actual. Are you following me? First 4 column indicates standard thing, and last 3 columns indicates actual thing. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Now there are 3 material A, B, and C. Standard quantity which is mentioned in terms of maybe kilogram, whatever it is, values are given. Standard prices are also quoted: 6 rupees, 375, 3, etc. And total, it is what? Total means multiplication of this 500 multiplied by 6 rupees, that is 3000 rupees. Followed?
Yes, sir.
Now rest of the part which indicates actual. Now here actually company has used a material of 400 quantity. Standard was given 500, but they have used 400 quantity. That is the meaning. And the actual price is 6 rupees. So standard price was also 6, and actual is also 6. So they are at par. So there is no change. That is the meaning. And this way, 6 multiplied by 400, that comes to 2400 as a total for a material. Any doubt understanding in this particular column? Any doubt? Any doubt in terms of understanding how this 2400 has come?
No.
Okay. Now next, last column, that is 1800 for B, 1800. Now how this 1800? Actual quantity of B, company has used 500 quantity, and the actual price is 360. So this way, 500 multiplied by 360, it comes to 1800. So this way it is the calculation. And here they also provided the estimated loss, normal loss. It is 130, and this is the total quantity 5,400. Actual loss, it is 220. So actual loss is 220. The figures are given. So actual quantity from 1,300 220 goes, it is 1,080, and the total amount is 5,320. So this is the question part, and we have to calculate material cost variances. Now how it is to be? Let me share with you the solution, and the solution also I will explain you. Either you can note down or you can have a screenshot of this solution part. But first, understanding is important, and then you take a or while understanding, if you are ready with the pen and paper, you can note down also. Now, we'll begin with the solution part. First, we will calculate MCV. MCV stand for material cost variances. Okay, equals to standard material cost minus actual material cost. Standard material cost minus actual material cost. Now, standard material cost, it is how much? Look at this table. Standard material cost is how much? 5,400. Actual material cost, last column. Actual material cost is how much? 5,320. So from standard, actual goes. Now here you can compare. Here standard is higher and actual is less. So naturally, company has given you 5,400, but you have spent, as a manager, you have spent 5,320. So the difference will be favorable or unfavorable?
Favorable.
Favorable, correct. So what is the difference here? What is the difference? 80. 80 is the difference. See, look at here. 5,400 minus 5,320. 80. Here you have to indicate favorable. Now, another formula, MPV. MPV stand for material price variances. Material price variances. The formula is material price variances equals to actual quantity. Here I have mentioned AQ, but I am explaining in a full form. Actual quantity. AQ stand for actual quantity. In bracket, actual price minus standard price. Now, actual quantity, it is 400, and actual price and standard price is 6 rupees. Let us verify this. Look at here. Material A, actual quantity. Can you see my table? Material A, actual quantity is how much?
400.
400. Actual price is how much? 6. And standard price is also 6. So the same figures we have mentioned here. So here, actual price is equal to standard price. So there is no difference. That is why I have mentioned here nil. It is nil. Let us go to the B material. Actual price and standard price and actual quantity. B material. Now for B material, look at here. Actual price is for how much for B material? Actual price. Look at my cursor. Look at my cursor. And what is the standard price of B material?
3.75.
3.75. So actual price the company has paid lesser. So naturally, what will be the variance? It will be the favorable. But let us calculate this. Actual quantity for B, it is 500 in bracket. Actual price 360. Standard price is 375. Just now we have seen the equation part. So if you take the difference of this 3.60 and 3.75, the difference is 0.15. Barabar na? 0.15 is the difference. So 0.15 multiplied by 500, because this is a mathematical property. It is in the bracket. So whenever out of the bracket, we have to multiply. Out of the bracket, things should be multiplied. Barabar na?
Yes.
So 0.15 multiplied by 500. So that comes to 75. And this 75 we have to indicate as F. F stand for favorable. Now similarly for C product actual quantity, look at here 400, actual price 280, and standard price is 3 rupees. So again, the price is lesser than standard price because actually we have paid 2.80 and the standard price was 3. So here this difference of C material is also 0.20 multiplied by 400, 80 is the difference which is favorable. So in all for all this ABC, so I have taken total of this 75 plus 80. So total variance is for material price variances, it is 155 F. Now let me clarify over here. Suppose, just for example purpose, please do not get confused. Assume that suppose if A could have been unfavorable, say 50, just for example purpose. Now here it is A nil, but for understanding purpose, if A product would have been 50 rupees unfavorable, so what would have been the net from this favorable, because favorable amount is higher, 155. From 155, 50 unfavorable goes. So remaining is how much? 155 favorable and 50 is one unfavorable. Unfavorable figure is smaller. From 155, 50 goes. Net is how much? 105. So 105 would have been favorable figure. So this could be a situation also, but here since A is nil, so we have taken the total of this two product. Otherwise, would have been subtracted from favorable, this unfavorable A. But here it is not that situation. Are you following me? What I am trying to explain you? Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, hello.
Now, yes.
सर ते सी मध्ये 80 फेवरेबल कसं काय आलं?
सी मध्ये 80 फेवरेबल असं आलं. आपण ऍक्च्युअल जी प्राइस आहे ती 2 रुपये 80 पैसे आहे आणि स्टँडर्ड प्राइस आहे 3 रुपये. म्हणजे कंपनीने स्टँडर्ड प्राइस मला 3 रुपये दिले, पण तुम्ही खर्च केले 2 रुपये 80 पैसे. म्हणजे तुम्ही कंपनीचे 20 पैसे वाचवले की नाही?
20 पैसे बरोबर
वाचवले तुम्ही. तर हा जो डिफरन्स आहे 20 पैसे, तो ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटीला मल्टिप्लाय करायचा. ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी सी ची आहे 400, सो 400 मल्टिप्लाइड बाय 0.20 असे ती 80 आले.
अच्छा,
समजलं?
ओके सर, थँक्यू.
ओके. आता पुढचं मटेरियल युसेज व्हॅरियन्सेस. मटेरियल युसेज व्हेरियन्सेस त्याचा फॉर्म्युला आहे इक्वल्स टू स्टँडर्ड प्राइस इन ब्रॅकेट ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी मायनस स्टँडर्ड क्वांटिटी. ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी मायनस स्टँडर्ड क्वांटिटी. आता बघा, मटेरियल युसेज व्हॅरियन्स 3 प्रकारचे प्रॉडक्ट आहेत, ए, बी अँड सी. ए मटेरियलचं स्टँडर्ड प्राइस या वरच्या फॉर्म्युलामध्ये सुद्धा तुम्हाला स्टँडर्ड प्राइस दिसते बघा. ए ची स्टँडर्ड प्राइस काय आहे? 6 रुपीज, बरोबर ना? हे बघा, ए ची स्टँडर्ड प्राइस काय आहे? 6 आहे ना?
Yes.
6 रुपीज. ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी, ए ची ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी वरच्या फॉर्म्युल्यामध्ये आलेली आहे. ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी बघा, ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी ए ची किती आहे? किंवा मी तुम्हाला क्वेश्चन पार्ट दाखवतो. ए ची ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी बघा, ए ची ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी. ए बघा, ए मटेरियल ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी किती आहे?
400.
आणि ऍक्च्युअल प्राइस 6 रुपीज, बरोबर ना? तेच आपण इथं फॉर्म्युलामध्ये टाकलेलं आहे. 6 रुपीज आणि हे 400 मायनस स्टँडर्ड क्वांटिटी. स्टँडर्ड क्वांटिटी किती आहे? ए ची इथे दिलेली बघा 500, बरोबर ना? दिसते तुम्हाला? ए ची स्टँडर्ड क्वांटिटी 500 ए मटेरियलची आहे ना?
हो.
ओके. तर आता ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी, स्टँडर्ड क्वांटिटी होती ती आपल्याला 500, पण आपण ऍक्च्युअली फक्त 400च वापरले. म्हणजे ही चांगली गोष्ट आहे कंपनीसाठी. स्टँडर्ड तुम्हाला 500चा दिलेला होता, पण तुम्ही वापरला फक्त 400. इट इज फेवरेबल ना. तर हा जो 100 आहे मल्टिप्लाइड बाय 6, जो डिफरन्स आला हा फेवरेबल आला. कारण ऍक्च्युअली तुम्ही कमी वापरला, स्टँडर्ड पेक्षा कमी वापरला, इट इज ऑलवेज फेवरेबल. असं फक्त लॉजिक लक्षात ठेवा. जेव्हा तुमचा ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी ही स्टँडर्ड पेक्षा कमी असते, दॅट इज ऑलवेज फेवरेबल. मी तुम्हाला एक्झाम्पल पण दिलं. समजा तुम्हाला विकेंडला जर का 200 रुपये दिलेत, तुम्ही 160 रुपये खर्च केले, इट इज फेवरेबल. पण तुम्हाला 200 रुपये दिले, तुम्ही 350 रुपये खर्च केले, फेवरेबल आहे का हे? नाही. हेच लॉजिक वापरा. आता बी मटेरियलचं बघा. आता बीचं बघा, फॉर्म्युला आपल्याला माहिती आहे, स्टँडर्ड प्राइस इन ब्रॅकेट ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी आणि स्टँडर्ड क्वांटिटी. आधी आपण बीचं ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी आणि स्टँडर्ड क्वांटिटी बघूया. बीचं बघा, ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी किती आहे बीची? 500. पण ऍक्च्युअली तुम्हाला ऍक्च्युअली क्वांटिटी आहे 500, पण तुम्हाला स्टँडर्ड क्वांटिटी किती दिलेली आहे कंपनीने? 400. सो दॅट इज युअर स्टँडर्ड क्वांटिटी. आणि रेट पण बघा. आता इकडे बीचा फॉर्म्युला बघा, रेट 375, ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी 500, पण स्टँडर्ड क्वांटिटी कंपनीने दिलेली 400. 400 दिलेली असताना ऍक्च्युअली आपण 500 यूज केले. काय सांगण्याची गरज नाही, ते अनफेवरेबलच होणार आहे. अनफेवरेबल. पण ते किती होणार आहे अनफेवरेबल, ते आपण इथं काढलेले आहे. किती होणार आहे व्हॅल्यू मध्ये? तर 500 मधून 400 गेले 100, आणि हा डिफरन्स, हा म्हणजे स्टँडर्ड प्राइस 375. सर 375 हे ऍडव्हर्स म्हणजे अनफेवरेबल. ए स्टँड फॉर ऍडव्हर्स, किंवा इथं तुम्ही यू पण म्हणू शकता, अनफेवरेबल, जे तुम्हाला सुटेबल वाटेल ते. आयदर यू इंडिकेट ए और यू इंडिकेट यू. यू स्टँड फॉर अनफेवरेबल, ए स्टँड फॉर ऍडव्हर्स. दोघांचा अर्थ सेमच आहे, दोन्हीचा अर्थ सेमच आहे, अनफेवरेबल. समजलं का? तसंच सी मटेरियलचं सुद्धा इट इज अनफेवरेबल. म्हणजे बघा, इथं 3 मटेरियल आहे, ए, बी अँड सी. 2 मटेरियलचं अनफेवरेबल आहे, म्हणजे ज्याची टोटल आहे 675. 375 प्लस 300, 675 इज टोटल ऍडव्हर्स और अनफेवरेबल. बरोबर ना? आणि फेवरेबल फक्त एकच प्रॉडक्ट आहे, म्हणजे ए, विच इज 600. तर मग आता आपल्याला नेट इफेक्ट काढायचा आहे कंपनीसाठी. 3 प्रकारचे प्रॉडक्ट लागतात, पण 2 मध्ये अनफेवरेबल सिच्युएशन आहे, 1 मध्ये फेवरेबल आहे. तर हे 675 मधून 600 गेले, म्हणजे उरले किती? 675 मधून 600 फेवरेबल गेले, उरले किती?
75.
सो 75 इज अनफेवरेबल, कारण अनफेवरेबल फिगर इज हायर. अनफेवरेबल फिगर इज हायर. थोडं मी तुम्हाला एक्सप्लेन करू सांगतो. समजा एका पॅरेंटला 2 मुलं आहेत. दोघांना त्यांनी खर्चाला पैसे दिले, 200 रुपये, 200 रुपये दिले. 200 रुपये दिले. एका पाल्याने, एका मुलाने 160 रुपये खर्च केले, आणि दुसऱ्या मुलाने, त्याच पालकाच्या दुसऱ्या मुलाने, असं समजा की त्याने 210 रुपये खर्च केले. पण पालकाच्या दृष्टीने पालक काय विचार करतील की आपण दोघांना 200 रुपये दिले होते, पण एका मुलाने 160 रुपये खर्च केले, एकाने 210 रुपये खर्च केले. पण पालक म्हणून पालक कसा विचार करतील? त्यांची फेवरेबल सिच्युएशन किती झाली, इथं किती रुपयामध्ये झाली? आता सांगू, मला आन्सर द्याल का तुम्ही? 30. करेक्ट. तेच मी इथं काढलेलं आहे, 75. कंपनी असा विचार करणार, कंपनीचे हे 3 मुलं आहेत, ए, बी अँड सी, हे कंपनीची मुलंच आहेत, हे प्रॉडक्ट आहेत. त्याच्यापैकी दोघांनी जरा जास्त खर्च केला, एकाने फेवरेबल मध्ये राहिला. तो जास्त खर्च केला, तो फेवरेबल मधून डिफरन्स काढला, म्हणजे कंपनीला 75 रुपये हा ऍडव्हर्स झाला, असा त्याचा अर्थ. समजलं का?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me take you ahead. Material mix variances. MMV stand for material mix variances. त्याचा फॉर्म्युला आहे, material mix variances equals to standard price in bracket actual mix minus standard mix. Actual mix minus standard mix. आता याच्यामध्ये आपण व्हॅल्यू फीड करूया. ए मटेरियलचं स्टँडर्ड प्राइस इज 6 रुपीज, ते आपल्याला माहिती आहे. 6 रुपीज स्टँडर्ड प्राइस. इन ब्रॅकेट ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स बघा, तुम्हाला टेबल दाखवतो मी. ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स किती आहे एचा, हे बघा ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी दिलेली आहे, म्हणजे हा ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स आहे. किती आहे
400.
400. So here I have fed figure 400 actual mix, minus स्टँडर्ड मिक्स. आता स्टँडर्ड मिक्स आपल्याला दिलेलं नाहीये, इथं थोडं आपल्याला अजून एक कॅल्क्युलेशन करायचं, कारण सगळ्या गोष्टी काही तुम्हाला मिळणार नाही, काही गोष्टी तुम्हाला शोधाव्या लागतील. तर हे मी तुम्हाला मला फक्त 2 मिनिटं द्या, मी एक्सप्लेन करतो तुम्हाला की हाऊ दिस 541, हाऊ दिस 433 and how this 325 has come, because we haven't given information of 541 of A. आता मी तुम्हाला क्वेश्चन कडे घेऊन जातो. आता ए मध्ये कुठे दिले का तुम्हाला 541, कुठे दिसते का फिगर 541? लुक ॲट दिस फर्स्ट लाईन, कुठे आहे का 541? नाही दिलेली, पण आपल्याला ते शोधायचं आहे. ते आता कसं शोधायचं ते तुम्हाला सांगतो. ह्या टेबलकडे बघा. And if you are having your cell phone or a calculator, you may use that. आता बघा, ऍक्च्युअली हे प्रॉडक्ट करण्यासाठी कंपनीने टोटल इनपुट किती दिलेले आहे 1300. आता बघा, नोट द स्टँडर्ड मिक्स इज कॅल्क्युलेटेड ॲज बिलो. व्हेन टोटल इनपुट इज 1200 किलोग्राम. पुन्हा मी टेबल दाखवतो तुम्हाला. व्हेन टोटल इनपुट इज, हे बघा 1200 हे इनपुट दिलेले आहे आपण. पण ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी किती आहे? द एबीसी मिक्स इन द proportion of 500 gram, 400 gram, 300 gram respectively. When total input is 1300 gram, the material should have been mixed. The material should have been mixed in the following proportion. तर हे काढण्यासाठी आपल्याला पुन्हा आता हे कॅल्क्युलेशन करावं लागणार आहे. म्हणजे हे कॅल्क्युलेशन कसं आहे, ए मटेरियल साठी 500 डिवायडेड बाय 1200, हे जे टोटल इनपुट दिलेले 1200 multiplied by 1300. So which comes to 541 kilogram. When total input is 1200 kilogram, the material ABC are mixed in the proportion of 500, 400, 300 respectively. हे आपल्याला न्यूमेरिकल मध्येच दिलेले आहे, फक्त आपण याच्यात ऍडिशन केलेले आहे. When total input is 1300 kilogram, the material should have been mixed in the following proportion. तर ते काढण्यासाठी आपल्याला 500 upon 1200 multiplied by 1300, म्हणजे ह्या टेबल मधली इन्फॉर्मेशन 500 and 1300, 1200 ह्या फिगर दिसतात का तुम्हाला? व्हॅल्यू टेबल मध्ये दिसलात का? टेबल दिसलात का? 500, 1200, 1300 दिसलात का?
Yes, sir.
So the same values here we have to feed like this. 500 upon, look at here, 500 upon this total, total is here 1200 upon 1200 multiplied by this actual quantity total 1300. So this way it comes to 541. दूसरा आपण कॅल्क्युलेट करून घ्या. बी प्रॉडक्ट 400 upon 1200 multiplied by 1300. प्रत्येकाने करून बघा. How much it is coming?
433.33.
433. परत एकदा ट्राय करा. सी प्रॉडक्टचा 300 upon 1200 multiplied by 1300 करून बघा बरं. आणि सांगा मला व्हॅल्यू
325.
325. तर एवढं आपल्याला हे मिक्स करावं लागतं. हे आपण स्टँडर्ड मिक्स काढला. त्यासाठी हा एवढा उपद्व्याप करावा लागला. या फिगर्स आपण काढल्या. ओके. आणि ह्याच फिगर आपण याच्यामध्ये इथं फीड केलेल्या आहेत मटेरियल मिक्स व्हॅरियन्स काढण्यासाठी. तर आता इथं काय आलं बघा, 400 ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स, स्टँडर्ड मिक्स 541. म्हणजे स्टँडर्ड मिक्स दिलेलं आपल्याला 541 दिलं होतं, पण ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स आपण 400 वापरलं. म्हणजेच आपण कमी वापरलं ना, ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स आपण कमी वापरलेलं ना. या फिगर कम्पेअर करा, ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स कमी वापरलं का जास्त वापरलं. हे ऍक्च्युअल आहे ना, एम स्टँड फॉर ऍक्च्युअल. हॅलो,
Yes.
कमी वापरलं. सो द डिफरन्स विल बी फेवरेबल अँड डिफरन्स इज 850. आता दुसरं समजून घ्या. आता बघा इथं फिगर बघा, ही पहिली फिगर आहे आपली ऍक्च्युअल मिक्सची. बीचं ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स आहे 500, स्टँडर्ड मिक्स आहे 433. हे बघा स्टँडर्ड मिक्स 433. तर 433 हे स्टँडर्ड मिक्स असताना आपण ऍक्च्युअली जास्त वापरलं. ऍक्च्युअल जर जास्त वापरलं असेल तर त्याचा डिफरन्स हा अनफेवरेबलच येणार, बरोबर ना.
Yes, sir.
तर हा डिफरन्स आला 250. आता सी चं समजून घ्या. ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स आपला आहे 400, स्टँडर्ड मिक्स आहे 325. स्टँडर्ड 325 दिलेलं असताना ऍक्च्युअली आपण 400 वापरलं. सो इट इज अनफेवरेबल. किती अनफेवरेबल आलं, तर हे मल्टिप्लिकेशन करून हे जे मल्टिप्लिकेशन केलं, माईक युअर ऑफ, माईक युअर ऑफ. तर हा जो डिफरन्स आहे 225 ऍडव्हर्स. तर फायनली टोटल ऍडव्हर्स इज 250 प्लस 225. सो 475 इज टोटल ऍडव्हर्स. पण हायर अमाऊंट इज फेवरेबल 850. तर 850 मधून हे ऍडव्हर्स गेले, म्हणजेच नेट 375 इज फेवरेबल. समजलं काय.
Yes, sir.
So this way material mix variances. And the last one is material yield variances. Material yield variances equals to standard yield price. Standard yield price ही कशी काढायची, तर स्टँडर्ड yield price आउटपुट आहे 5400 अपॉन 1080. हे आपलं स्टँडर्ड आउटपुट आहे. हे डिवाइड करून आपल्याला 5 रुपीज हे आलं. हे झालं आपलं स्टँडर्ड स्टँडर्ड कॉस्ट. हा आपण आता व्हेरीफाय पण करू शकतो, चेक पण करू शकतो. आता चेक करण्याचा फॉर्म्युला जर तुम्हाला इन एक्झामिनेशन इफ यू मेन्शन दिस दॅट विल बी गुड वन. जरी नाही मेन्शन केलं तरी चालेल, पण फॉर युअर इन्फॉर्मेशन आय जस्ट पुट अप हियर हाऊ टू चेक दिस. नाउ मटेरियल कॉस्ट व्हेरियन्सेस इक्वल्स टू एमपीव्ही प्लस म्हणजे मटेरियल प्राइस व्हेरियन्सेस प्लस मटेरियल युसेज व्हेरियन्सेस, म्हणजेच आपल्याला एमसीबी मिळतो. आता ह्या व्हॅल्यूज आपण फिट केल्या बघा. आपल्याला मटेरियल प्राइस व्हेरियन्सेस हा आलेला आहे or if it is difficult to understand, you can skip this check portion. Not necessary. Even if you calculate this three formulas, that is material cost variances, material price variances, and material usage variances, that is more than sufficient. So leave that. Otherwise, this will be too much burden for you. Just remember material cost variances, material price variances, and material usage variances. एवढे हे तीन फॉर्म्युला याच्यामध्ये कॅल्क्युलेट करा. You get the answer for this. Calculate material cost variances. So this entire topic, you see, it is based on formula, and I explained the meaning of formula. Tomorrow we will end our topic, the total subject, that is managerial accounting. But tomorrow I would like to take one numerical on another part, that is labor cost. We have learned about how to calculate material cost. More or less, only word will be changed tomorrow, that how to calculate labor cost, calculate labor cost variances. Okay. So now we are at the end of time now. So I will not extend my session. I will stop today, and tomorrow we will have the last numerical on calculation of labor cost variances. Okay.
हॅलो
Hello.
सर आपण ते मिक्स मटेरियल व्हेरायन्स मध्ये स्टँडर्ड प्राइस मायनस ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स मायनस स्टँडर्ड मिक्स असं घेतलं होतं ना.
हो,
तर ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स इन द सेन्स ऍक्च्युअल क्वांटिटी होता का?
म्हणजे ऍक्च्युअली ते वापरलं आपण ते मिक्स, त्याचा अर्थ म्हणजे ऍक्च्युअली तेवढं प्रपोर्शन आपण वापरलं. मिक्स म्हणजे काही गोष्टीमध्ये आपल्याला 2-3 मिक्स करावं लागतं ना. समजा आपल्याला जर का एखादा, समजा आपण लिचित पापडचं एक्झाम्पल घेतो, पापड तयार करायचं आहे, तर आपल्याला पीठ, मग मीठ, काही मसाला, ह्या गोष्टींचं त्याचं मिक्सिंग करावं लागतं ना. तर तसं, तर ते ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स, त्याला म्हणतो आपण ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स. आणि स्टँडर्ड मिक्स, समजा तुम्हाला स्टँडर्ड मिक्स दिलेलं 400 आणि ऍक्च्युअली तुम्ही वापरलं 350, तर तुम्ही कमी वापरला. ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स तुम्ही कमीच वापरलाय. स्टँडर्ड मिक्स हे तुम्हाला दिलेलं होतं, त्याच्यापेक्षा म्हणजे खूप काटकसरीने किंवा व्यवस्थित वापरलेलं आहे, असं त्याचा अर्थ. ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स म्हणजे जे काही ऍक्च्युअली वापरलं गेलं तसं मिक्सचर प्रपोर्शन, दॅट इज ऍक्च्युअल मिक्स.
येस सर, ठीक आहे.
तर उद्याला आपण शेवटचं न्यूमेरिकल घेऊ, लेबर कॉस्ट व्हेरियन्सेस, अँड देन वी विल एंड टुमॉरो. ओके.
येस सर, थँक्यू.
थँक्यू ऑल. बाय.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.